What's going on, guys? Diamond here, and welcome to another video. Today we're basically going to be seeing which GTR is the best within Fix-It-Up. So right behind me we have the Nissan Skyline R32, we have an R34, and we have the R35 that was in the Iced series, and we're going to be putting all three against each other in a drag build to see exactly which one will come out on top. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and deal with the R32. Of course, as you see, I basically have it as stock as possible with the little modifications here and there for the spoilers and stuff. So what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to go and get a 3.8 for this thing. Right, better yet, we'll go ahead and do a 4.0 instead, just because I want it all on the same platform to see exactly which build would be actually better. So right now we have a 3.0 inside of this. So the guy I picked this car up from actually had this as a drift build, which, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love that. But however, we're not doing drifting right now. We are, in fact, doing drag builds. Holy stutter. Anyways, let's go ahead and buy our 4.0. Not forget the twin turbos. Let's take out our inline 6 and our transmission. We can't forget we need to get a 7 DCT. Let's install the new engine. And we'll close the hood. We'll go ahead and basically get rid of all of this. All right, and let's go get us some slick tires. First, we'll give a max speed test. I will say this car actually handles really well, and our top speed's 161. That's pretty nice actually, but I do like the stability of this R32 compared to the R35. Already kind of winning me over. All right, and let's get to tuning. All right, this is a drag tune by the photographer Vashist. He claims it makes 1350 horsepower and makes about 383 kilometers. So we're going to see exactly how well this does, especially against the other Skylines. All right, and while we're here, let's go ahead and get us some drag slicks. So it's looking like, thanks to El Bozos, it's going to be a 20 and 260 for the diameter and width, and we're going to use 25 for the tire size. This is for the fronts, and then the same diameter but 280 for the rears. Thank you, Bozo. All right, and while we're also still in this city, let's go ahead and get some other parts for this Skyline, shall we? Let's go ahead and figure this out. I guess we'll buy the spoiler too. All right, and let's take this old one off. We'll keep it just in case, and let's put the new stuff on. That looks kind of clean, I'm not even gonna lie. All right, and while we're here, let's go ahead and do our max speed test. So 238 miles per hour, and we are absolutely flying. Oh my. All right, well then, let's go ahead and head to the tire shop, shall we? All right, let's go ahead and lift this thing up. We'll go ahead and use these. We'll bring them over here, and we'll obviously take our slicks out. These ones, for some reason, want to roll away. All right, one tire done. 3 and 4. All right, nice. Now let's go ahead and get these off. All right, sweet. So let's go ahead and delete these. These tires keep running away, man. All right, well, now let's get these on. Not really sure how this is a wide body fitment, but we'll worry about that later. What we're here to worry about is what times do we get on that drag strip. All right, and let's begin the times. 486, not bad. 479. 476. Awesome, man. All right, so that was with the 4.0. I do wonder exactly what the R34 is gonna have. All right, the R34. So let's see. I think it's the same case with this one. Yep, drift builds. We're going to be obviously changing it to a drag build. So first things first, obviously let's go get the transmission and the engine. Let's go ahead and take this one out. Obviously we'll put the radiator back in because we kind of need that. All right, let's go and buy our transmission and we'll buy our engine. Go ahead and install it. All right, and let's go get our slicks in tune. See what our max speed is. Looks like 175. All right, not bad. Again, this car, just like the R32, is surprisingly stable. Of course, if you don't hit NPC cars. All right, and now that we're here, let's get to tuning. All right, this is a tune by the event team. This is a tune for the 4.0 by the person named Siravil. I'm very sorry if I mispronounced that, if you happen to watch this. But this is their tune. They claim to make 1349 horsepower, and we'll see exactly how well it does. And also, while we're here, let's go ahead and go grab our slicks. All right, so it's looking like all the way around it's going to be a 260/21. All right, let's do our speed test. 246, and we're going flying again. Nice. All right. Now that we got that done, let's go ahead and head back to the other city and head to the tire shop. All right, and let's get these off. Let's take these out so that way we just have them here, and let's go get our new ones. I think we'll run back with the TE37. We'll bring these over here. All right, now let's go ahead and get these on. All right, and let's see how well this does on the track. All right, now that we're here, our goal is to beat the R32's time, which was 476, and to beat its average, which I have high hopes for this R34. I really do. $493, all right. 481, all right, this has got to be it. We got to be able to beat that last time. 41. All right, so surprisingly, we did not beat the R32, but that's okay. All right, third and final car. I don't think this one really needs any introduction. We already have it tuned, kitted, and all we need to do now is head straight to the drag strip. Go ahead and lower this thing, because apparently whenever I move, it starts stuttering real bad. All right, let's do this. $486, not bad for the first run. 484, not bad. For this run, we'll obviously lower it back up, and we'll see how it does. 494, that's, wow, okay. Well then. The fact that a rear-wheel drive Skyline, especially the R32, managed to come out on top out of all three is genuinely surprising. It managed to beat two all-wheel drive GTRs. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a terrible driver when it comes to doing this stuff, but I also won't say that I'm the best. It also determines on what builds you use, and it also determines on what engines. These were all just the same engines, being 4.0s instead of 3.8s, and I'm sure the other two would probably have a more home field advantage if I managed to put V6s in them. But anyways, I am going to go eat some food, so ciao.